getting started with these. Okay. Hi guys, hello, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and today, of course, is the 13th of the month of September. I want to touch you today about my leg, my foot, and my foot. They're both doing good, and I'm going to explain something my doctor has said that could be going on with my foot, or my leg, and then we'll talk about my foot, because I got two different parts of the body, two different injuries, and we're going to discuss them one at a time. So let's start with the foot. The good news is the swelling is coming down, which is great, because it means that it's healing. It's still got a few scabs on it, but it's doing better. It turned out also that the antibiotic he put me on, that the emergency room called amoxicillin, also, which is a full spectrum antibiotic. Also, apparently there was an infection in my left leg for 2.5 years that was just causing debilitating symptoms. Everybody thought it was a potassium shortage. It's not. My potassium levels are normal. It turns out the amoxicillin, which is, I said, is a full spectrum antibiotic, had found the problem with my muscle infection is in both Dr. Lowenbaugh and his doctor in training had said the same thing, that the medication has actually fixed my left leg too, so it no longer hurts anymore. And we thought it was a potassium shortage, and it turns out that's not the case. Now, I want to talk to you today also about something that's not so fun. After I did my video on the signals and posted it in the Winston, Connecticut forum, well, a good number of people did appreciate the remake, and they were extremely happy. And it was well thought out and concise, and it was potty mouth free and everything. There was a couple haters that decided to attack the reporter instead of accepting the fact that there was a problem with the signal. To them, the reporter was the problem and the signal wasn't. What? First of all, let's talk about this, okay, real quickly. Some of you may know my situation. Some of you may not. So let's go through this straight up. I was born and raised a hermaphrodite all my life, okay? It's a medical condition. It is not trans anything. There's no transgenders, no transvestite, there's no trans-dressing, no trans this, trans that, trans fats, trans cholesterols, whatever. I'm just me. I am 100% pure kosher. No additives, flavors, colors, or preservatives. Well, okay, my hair's bleached. That's about the only thing. But the thing here is, I'm just a little bit annoyed that some of these people, instead of, focusing on the main video concept, which was not so much whoever the reporter is, but rather is this health and safety of people on the street, that these people would choose. It was a small number. It wasn't really a large number, but I just want to address it anyway. They decided not to come to grips with the sad truth is that this is a safety issue that could affect the loved ones, their lives. Nobody wants to lose a loved one because they didn't know the light has changed, or because they're blind, they couldn't even tell if it really was safe to cross the street. And that is the reason I brought that up in the video. It seems still, the irony is the first video still is extremely popular, and the second video, of course, is also becoming popular. Some people are actually enjoying both. Many prefer the second one because it was better organized, and I appreciate your support. And I apologize that the first video was just kind of done in the spur of the moment. I was just getting a little bit cross with this whole white business, and I didn't really do a clear job on what was upsetting me. And so I just kind of put foot in mouth and echoed internationally. Okay, not good idea. And then after I watched the video a couple thousand times, it seemed like a couple thousand times. Really, it's probably more like 10. I realized there was a couple mistakes that I did not address in the first video that I needed to address in the second. And so I decided to redo it on my own. Not so much because of the potty mouth, but that certainly was one reason. Because normally I don't talk like that. Okay? Unless I'm really, really livid. In a situation with the signal on Main Street was definitely getting my goat a lot. Since I did the second video, here's what I can tell you. Number one, I do not know if the Connecticut Department of Transportation is going to make corrections on the signals to at least make it more accessible to the handicapped. I hope they do. I really do. It's a new system. There's no excuse that the Americans with Disabilities Act would be totally in disregard. Second of all, some would say is, yeah, but the blind can see the signal. No, they can't. I would dare any person to put on a blindfold and try to cross the intersection by themselves. I recommend doing it late at night when the traffic is low. You will find that there is no signal at all. There's no horns. You won't be able to read the countdown timer. You won't be able to see the green man. That's an issue. So if you're blind, totally blind, you can't read the signal. If you want to read the instructions, if you could even see it all, you can't because there's no braille on the instructions either. But what about the old system? Well, the old system had the horn. At least it had that in this intersection. So I'd go, when you was trying to save it across here, beep, and then 8 seconds, beep, 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 beep. Okay, then what you could tell, and then other things too, is the drivers also listen for that horn. No one really thinks about the drivers of the cars, but they listen too. Because when they know the horn's going, it means that somebody has requested the right to cross the road. Which means is that puts them more on alert to watch out for pedestrians. And that's, well, it's not supposed to be that way, but it's the way it ended up. So for the drivers of cars, the horn tells them a pedestrian has requested to cross. A pedestrian is crossing on one of the 4 corners. Please be careful. Okay? So as far as that one person that particularly flamed me, I really wish that you understood more or less my situation. And, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I always said this to myself is, if you want to, before you can sit there and flame somebody, why don't you get to meet the person that you're flaming first? This guy is currently a local in Winsted, and I'm surprised that he hasn't yet said, well, you know what? Maybe I should sit down and talk to Michele at a public place like McDonald's or ABC Pizza or something. Get to know who she really is instead of assuming that she's something that she's not. I have medical documentation that backs up my claim, so it's not like it's really not fair. Okay. By the way, I want to talk to you also about something that was said to me about this channel, and really quickly, and address my point on it. One individual mentioned to me. She says this channel seems to have become very negative. I try not to make this channel become too negative. I really do. But this channel, if you remember watching What's This Channel About, explains what this channel is about. And unfortunately, that doesn't always mean that this channel is going to always be nice, happy, fluffy unicorns and all that. This channel is a place where I can express my concerns, fears, thoughts, desires. Some of my favorite things I like to do. It's a large group of things. It's a political channel. It's a news channel. It's a weather channel. It's pretty much a gamut of everything. This is really a personal vlog channel. I just happen to be that sometimes I come up with things that seem a bit negative to some people. But, you know, it's not meant to be that way, and if you took it that way, I'm really sorry. I wasn't meaning to be negative. But just, you know, the world is not always nice and sunny, and the birds are not always singing. Ask the people of Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma how much the world has been turned upside down since that system. Those two systems have affected the area. We still haven't heard anything about Jose, which right now is another system I have to check on. Last time I checked on Jose, he was staying out in the Atlantic Ocean a little longer, building up his energy. But he looks like he's going to potentially come into the East Coast, the southern East Coast, not the northern East Coast. That's the last I heard. I don't know if that's necessarily true or if that may have changed since. But the last thing I want to address is really quickly is I want you to know that this channel we do every week at this becoming weekly thing. We do a live stream on Sunday night, 6 p.m. And on Sunday night, 6 p.m., if you are a registered YouTuber, you can join us in chat and ask us questions. And I don't know how that would work for Google Plus, but I suppose if you're registered anywhere in the Gmail system, you can join us as well. And we cover a large variety of things from, as I said, exciting things to things that are not so exciting. But me and Lumi both have been working very hard to reach out to new people and to express new ideas and new thoughts. And so it's been a challenge to always come up with material fill-in. But let me add one more thing. Speaking of Hurricane Irma and Harvey, since I believe it's affecting both. The looting in their areas. Crooks, listen to me carefully, all right? You didn't buy that stuff that you're stealing from people's homes. Why are you taking something that's not yours? It's sad to see that you're preying on the victims who have had their homes damaged or destroyed. And I think it's irreprehensible to think that a crook would decide to go ahead and steal from local businesses that have been ransacked by Irma or Harvey or any hurricane or any natural disaster, okay? Just because somebody's not there. I think it's disgusting. It's not your stuff. You do not have the right to take that possession of their possessions. You do not have a legal document saying it is yours. Put it back where you found it. No questions asked. I'm serious. Put the stuff back where you found it. You don't have a right to it. It's not yours. There. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't get a live streaming yesterday. I was working so hard on yesterday's video. I just didn't have time or didn't have the stamina to do it. And right now, I got a fat pile of paperwork to do for my case manager, and it's not super sad, but it's fat enough. So I gotta fill this out and get this out of my way. And fortunately enough, this looks like I can get this done, blow this out of here in about 2 hours, maybe. So I'll get that out of here. If you have any comments or concerns, and if you do, and now please understand, I don't always rename these videos right away. So if you wonder why, let me explain. To rename these videos, I need to sit down at a desktop. It's the easiest way. And when I sit down at the desktop, after reviewing the video topic, I will give the video a new name. And now, as it is, it's just using a generic title and a generic description. And when I get a chance and I sit down, I'll rename the video, give it the finished description, add any additional tags if there is any to add, which I don't always do, but I will try. And that's how I do it. The most important thing you need to do as an audience is, if there's something you would like me to discuss, this is very important, please contact me. There's so many ways to do it. One of the ways is right in the comment section of this video. No, not right now when it's live, because the chats, I cannot see your chats. I don't have that software on my phone. But I can read your comments when this video is done. So if you want to wait till this video is done and leave your comment, you can do so. If you're really impatient, or if you really think it's something that needs to be in a private message, you can send it to bsandboy3@gmail.com. That's bsandboy3@gmail.com. I also want to briefly make one more thing. Yahoo keeps reminding me this. I think this is going to affect every single older iPhone user. They say that after the 20th, your phones will no longer be compatible with their IMAP server. Which I think is a dismay, because it's going to continue to remain compatibility with my BlackBerry 9900, which is surprising, because you would have think that YouTube would have sent me a message on my BlackBerry saying, "Dear Miss Delaney, please be aware that both your iPhone 4S and your BlackBerry Bold 9900 using BIS will no longer be compatible with this software after September 20th, 2017. If you want, please upgrade the firmware of both your BlackBerry and your iPhone 4S to continue compatibility." I'll tell you something right now, YouTube, Yahoo. My Yahoo mail has become a giant cesspit. It's terrible. I get mail from foreign languages, from foreign countries. I get more spam than I can handle, and it's just quietly disappearing as my primary mail service. So that's why we've been using with Gmail a lot more, because it's compatible with all my software. Because Yahoo, unfortunately, has become a cesspit. So, it all started out, of course, with Yahoo Messenger. Didn't help any. When I get people saying to me, "Oh, please contact me on Yahoo Messenger. I don't want to use the Facebook Messenger program." And then you get in contact with them, and they're scammers in Nigeria. And yeah, that's when it started. But I don't even think Yahoo Messenger works anymore. And if it does, it's not as well liked anymore. I use Google products because it consistently works among all my devices. And I mean all, including my BlackBerry Bold 9900, which to me is a big deal, because my BlackBerry Bold 9900 is my main workhorse phone. So that's something to think about. Oh, by the way, if you would like to make a donation, I did mention this in the past, but I might as well remind you. We need to get a newer Mac Pro, because our older Power Mac G5, it really has a hard time editing 720p videos in Final Cut Express. I have done my best to try to edit videos in Final Cut Express at 720p and found myself ready to throw the computer through a wall, because I don't know if it's the computer so much or maybe it's the video card. because it could be the video card. I do know I can get a ATI X800 XT card with Power Mac G5 flash on it, which would work fine, but I don't know if that would help so much for editing video. Or maybe I could, you know, go with as I said, like a Mac Pro 2005, 2006 version with a Sempron processor, with 4 to 8 gigabytes of RAM, 3.5 gigahertz processor. We're talking about the metal ones, the tall aluminum ones, not the plastic ones. Because that has PCIe slots. And maybe I can find, if I can find a matching compatible SCSI host adapter, I can port my retrospect over to that, and maybe even install Lion, so that I can continue to back up my files to tape, which means I need a SCSI host adapter. I did price a single drive, DLT 4-tape drive for SATA, and the price is a little bit high for me. So I don't really think I want to go with SATA because I already got 2 SCSI Y drives. One of them, which I got to finish fixing, which is the Dell DLT 122T VS80. The drive mechanism I can get inexpensively on eBay, and I might consider doing that. And obviously the nice DLT 120T 7-tape cartridge elevator, which works fine. It just lacks the barcode reader, which I kind of really miss. I know ADIC or ADIC fast store drives have that barcode reader support available. That's actually who made the V120 DLT, the Dell DLT 120 drive was actually ADIC fast store. So, but that's a whole nother video. We'll get to that in the future. We'll talk about tape backups again. We'll touch up on that. But for now, thank you very much for watching this video. Again, if you have any comments, concerns, questions, gripes, kudos, whatever, please do contact me at the email address I mentioned below at bichele3@gmail.com, or of course you can comment at the end of this video and I will give it the proper name and description after I'm done doing pile of bureaucratic BS. Okay, so now thanks guys for watching. Stay safe. Talk to you later. Bye bye.